Well, it is 5 o'clock sharp. So with that in mind, I am thrilled to welcome everybody to Pitch-Burgh 2020, the screening. My name is Kevin Smith. I'm at the University of Pittsburgh. I'm fortunate enough to be the Director of Undergraduate Studies for Broadcasting. And in addition, I am actually a professional filmmaker, believe it or not. And I'd like to first and foremost congratulate everybody because you are eons not only ahead of me, but at the stage in which I was when I was your age. But your work is magnificent, and I enjoyed every single one of them. But the first thing we want to do is hand out some thanks to everybody. First and foremost is the Pittsburgh Film Office, to thank them for everything they've been doing for us. Don Keyser, the director of the film office, the office coordinator, Katie Farringer, which poor Katie, we've been torturing her for months now, and the great Heather Bolton, as she can wave to us, which is always a treat. So Heather Bolton, thank you for everything that you've done for us as well. There's also a young lady from Robert Morris, the lead student curator and the Facebook page administrator of the Pittsburgh Film Students Facebook page, is the amazing Sarah Gabani. And trust me, you can ask Sarah. I begged and pleaded for all kinds of stuff right in the middle of her trying to deal with not only a pandemic, but getting me all kinds of information. Sarah, thank you for making this possible. Greatly appreciate all your work. We also have to thank all the universities and the colleges. Carnegie Mellon University, CCAC, Chatham University, Duquesne University, La Roche University, Point Park University, Robert Morris University, and of course, University of Pittsburgh. So we have to give a special thanks to them as well. How about we get the screening underway? You interested? Good.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to show the different films. I'll introduce the different films. Afterwards, I would love if we could have a short Q&A with the filmmakers of those particular films. I know I'm curious as to what your thought process was and what you're trying to achieve. I watched them all already, and I'm in awe of everything that you've done. So the first film, it's called Perception. It's by CCAC student Kayla Lukic. And Perception is an experimental short film that takes on a very observational approach to showcasing the world around us. So without much further ado, let's get a look at Perception.
My name's Phil.
Good job, Kayla.
Thank you.
Really well done. Well done, Kayla. I think that was brilliant. The first thing I'd like to do is ask a question and open it up for Q&A for a couple of minutes. And that is, what was your thought process on the black and white? Because I thought it was extraordinarily impactful.
So basically my idea was to have the world open up. So start it out in black and white. And then, yeah, open it up into color and have the music be more upbeat. So I like black and white because I'm a photographer as well. I shoot normally in black and white, so it speaks to me.
Your film reminded me of a movie called Pleasantville, which starts out black and white and then transitions into a color. And when it does, you just actually have a different feeling inside, which I thought was brilliant filmmaking on your part. Does anybody else have some questions for Kayla? I'm sure she would love to hear from you.
I don't have any questions. I just want to say it was brilliant. Good job, Kayla. It's a very beautiful, impactful, small piece. You know what I mean? I feel like in that short amount of time, like I really felt like an emotion was invoked just by watching that very small piece of film. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Does anybody else have any questions for Kayla? Kayla, how long did it take you to make that project, and when did it first come into mind that you wanted to do this?
It probably took me, I'd say, a month, because I kept restarting it and then not liking it in the editing process, and I just kept trying to put it together. And then when I finally had this one finished, I was like, this is it. I'm done. I really like this piece. So, yeah.
And finally, were you torn between other ideas for your project, or was this the project that you had in mind from the beginning?
I definitely wanted to do an experimental film, so something of this sort was what I had in mind.
Well, I'm happy that you shared it with us, because that is really, really magnificent filmmaking. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Our next film is called A Role to Play, and it's by LaRoche University students, co-directors Daniel Colaney and Matthew Knight. And A Role to Play is a documentary film that follows Phil Gutfelty, the only blind game store owner in America. Let's take a look at it.
My name is Philip Gutfelty. I own Game Masters in Pittsburgh, PA. I started 23 years ago, and we've been here ever since. Do you want me to tell them that I'm the only blind game store in America?
I mean, yes, that also kind of works.
I'm the only blind game store owner in America.
What got you into tabletop gaming?
What got me into it? I don't know. It was interesting. A lot of imagination was being used. I always read a lot of fantasy books, so I really enjoyed the whole idea of like being in the book, being the actor, being the character.
It's kind of like an escapism thing almost.
Exactly.
Yeah. What was your favorite game when you first started out doing tabletop?
Well, what's everybody's favorite game, right? Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, yeah.
And it was my favorite game. Of course, the nostalgia and everything with that. But I played so many games back, even to this day. I love the things that are like offbeat. I loved a game called Twilight 2000, which was a World War III role-playing game, which was made by companies gone now, GDW, Game Design Workshop. And I loved that game. Another one which is having a revival right now, which I played a lot, which was Cyberpunk by R. Talasorian.
Yes, Lipkin told me that you could talk to him about that for like hours.
Oh my God, I could go on and on and on about that game. It is a magnificent game. They just reprinted all, of course, with the new video game coming out next year. Yeah. Oh my God, they reprinted all the books. They just came out with the new box set. There's a big resurgence of all these role-playing games now.
Yeah, because, and I think like part of it does kind of have to do a bit with computer gaming? Because, as you said, Cyberpunk is getting a game, and Vampire the Masquerade is getting another game. Have you got any experience with Vampire the Masquerade? Or?
Oh my God, yes. Again, it's a occupational hazard. You own a game store. You're going to play the games, and you have to know the games, because otherwise, how can you tell people what's good, what's bad, what's, the ugly. All right. Exactly. So, I mean, there's so many games out there, and you try to learn all the systems, and you try to learn all the games, because you have to, people come in and they're looking for different things. And what's strange about role playing in that sense is people like role playing games for different reasons, and they also like their different styles of play, and they like different styles of games. So some people like very easy, streamlined systems. Other people like very complex, crunchy systems. People like sci-fi, fantasy. Some people like the mix theirs, like a Shadowrun where you have fantasy and sci-fi mixed up.
And that's kind of like the appeal of role-play games, is the fact that it can be literally for everyone, but despite that, it's kind of got like stigma for just kind of being nerdy stuff.
Well, nerd's cool now.
Well, yeah. Technically, yeah, it is.
I mean, it is. It's kind of strange. Now, remember, I'm in my 50s.
Yeah.
So when I played these games in the early 80s and 90s, I mean, you had the whole scare, right? You had people saying, "Oh my God, this is all satanic." I had a guy come in.
Like with a crucifix.
Oh no! I had a gentleman. I'm sitting here at a table right here, sitting at a table. I'm playing. My father used to come down. He had retired. And he would come down and we would play gin all day. Loved to play gin. So did I. And we're sitting here playing gin. And some guy walks in the door. Door flies open. Guy walks in and goes, "What kind of cult are you running here?" And my father and me look up. And my father says, "I don't know anything about a cult. Would you like a cup of coffee?" And the guy just, it was like walking into a wall. He's like, "Huh?" He's like, "We're playing gin. You want to sit down and have a cup of coffee?" So we poured a cup of coffee, sat down. His son was coming down here and playing games. And he's like, he wants to play this Dungeons and Dragons. What is this cult? What is this? It's all satanic, And we sat down and talked to him and showed him the books. And he left. We were all friends. In fact, he became, I needed some, he was a lawyer. I needed some work done. I needed a lawyer. Like a year and a half later, I hired him. It's amazing to me, this is considered a nerd game, right? Yeah. You had said that before. I found that to be untrue over the years. I've had customers in here. I had a gentleman come in here. He walked in, and we're talking, and he's looking for a D&D book, and this is back in the 90s. And he's sitting there, and he's talking to me, and we're going back and forth. Real tall guy, right? And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I usually, I love to play D&D. I was like, "Oh, how's the game going?" And we're going back and forth. "Oh, how's your character?" "Oh, I'm running. I'm not playing a character." But my teammates, I got like 4 or 5 teammates who play. And I'm like, "Teammates, what do you do?" Now, remember, I can't see, right? I go, "What do you do?" He goes, "Oh, I'm a Steeler." I'm like, "What?" "Oh, I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler." And I'm like, and this is in the 90s. I said, "You're a Pittsburgh Steeler in my store, and you play D&D with other Pittsburgh Steelers?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Huh. I guess it's not a nerd game. And can I have your autograph?" No. And it was nuts.
You don't think that it's hard being an owner of a tabletop shop in a world where most entertainment is taken from computer games and stuff?
Of course it's hard. But, and it's even harder being like a game store owner in these days. I mean, you're a small business. These margins aren't great. And I don't have a huge store, but we can get crowded. I mean, when you have 4 or 5 role-playing games going on, it can be a little crazy.
But those moments are worth it.
Oh my God, yes. It's great when it's terrible when you're sitting here and you have nobody in the store. But I mean, those nights when you're sitting there in your store and everybody's, all your tables are filled and people are laughing, and joking, and having a good time, and it's what they're looking for, and it's what you're offering them, and can't not make you feel good.
Well, I have to tell you, that is well done documentary style filmmaking. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Very well done. I have to, I never knew about this gentleman, and I learned quite a bit, which is the object of a documentary, first and foremost.
Yes, something that I've like learned from like experience is if you ever want like to just sit around for like a few hours and listen to something that's extremely interesting, you go to a tabletop shop owner and just like sit down with them, because honestly they can speak for honestly hours and you'd just be interested the whole time, to be honest.
You know what? You are so right. Matthew, let me ask, how did you and Daniel learn about Phil?
Well, it came out of like, since we were like told to do a documentary of some description. So, well, I originally thought, okay, well, I'm interested in like tabletop, so why don't we like interview the tabletop RPG group at La Roche or something like that. But like this was like almost towards the end of the semester, so everyone was like, hell, I think it was literally exam week that we shot and edited all of this, so everyone's schedule was just a bit messed up. So well, we couldn't really pin everyone down to do the interview. So I went to my teacher, Nadav Lipkin, who is on the tabletop group, and he like said, well, why don't you go down the road to this place called Game Masters? I mean, there's a, and like do something there. So like this was, at this point I hadn't shot anything like off campus or anything like that, or for that matter even needed to call a third party in able to make a film. So I spent 3 days like messaging the number that Lipkin gave me, and well, he decided to tell me literally a day before I was supposed to shoot it, oh yeah, Phil's blind. Okay, so you're telling me I've spent the last 3 days spamming visual messages to a blind person. And there's actually a funny story that he said that we weren't able to get on camera. Like he said about a time when a deaf person came into his store and like he was doing the hand stuff and it's like, I can't see what you're doing, and like someone who understood sign language who was like in the shop was just laughing at them. I really wish that we had the camera charged for when he said that, because honestly that was just hilarious, to be honest, because like I kid you not when I say that what was recorded was like a fifth of the amazing stuff that he talked about, to be honest. But yeah, like the reason I based it around like him was because, well, frankly, we were very limited with like what we had, because we came on a night when not many people were there, when we were like originally going to like interview players themselves and stuff like that. But I think it came out fairly well considering its disastrous development cycle.
Well, he was so engaging, which made it really special too. So anybody have questions for Matthew or Daniel? Jennifer, go ahead.
Daniel,
I have a question.
Is Daniel even here?
Yeah, he is here. I don't have a question. I just want to say, I know that you were probably disappointed that there wasn't people playing games, but I feel like you get more out of the film because he's talking, and I feel like he's telling you almost his life story through games, like his life story with the shop. And I really, really enjoyed that. And I felt like now I feel like I know him. So I'm kind of glad that you went on an off night, because it was a really, really a beautiful piece. Well said.
Well said. Anybody else have questions for Matthew or Daniel? Well, I have to tell you, that was wonderful. It was fascinating. I'm actually going to remember now forever about there's Pittsburgh Steelers that are playing Dungeons and Dragons here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, like that honestly really surprised me when he told me about that.
That was such a great revelation. That's a fabulous, fabulous story. And now you have a second feature that you can do out of this as well if you wanted to. So there you go.
I do want to say one more thing. I want to say that I saw that Daniel did the sound. That sound was really amazing because I can imagine that being a problem in a small shop like that with the sound. So I want to point out that, I mean, it's a beautiful piece and it's, you know, it's well shot and the questions were really well done, but the sound was really good too, because that's a really hard thing in a small area like that.
Yeah.
It was very, very good. Nice observation, Jennifer. Thank you. Matthew, Daniel, congratulations on a wonderful, wonderful film and documentary. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. Well, next up is Cheers COVID-19 Boxing Rage by Point Park University student Derek Ostolaza. If I said that right, Ostolaza. Cheers COVID-19 Boxing Rage is an experimental short film representing the psyche some people have during this pandemic. This should be very interesting. And let's go for That was absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Can you tell us, if you could, more about this film? I am fascinated by it, Derek, because the approach to doing this as a film, is Derek with us? I don't think I see Derek. I was curious because how many of you thought of, in history, we saw that he is Muslim, and that we saw that in history, Muhammad Ali went through the same similar thing about fighting. And right away, that's the first thing I thought. And I thought it was genius to tie in something from the past with something that is a lot more current right now and how to deal with it. Did anybody else have any kind of thoughts regarding that film?
I'd like to see it I don't know, I almost want to see the boxer's backstory a little bit, because like even in that little bit of space, you feel like there's more to him. So I think he did a good job with just a little bit of time he had.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that he's hitting a speed bag, which is that release that we're all kind of pent up. And I know as a filmmaker myself and stuck in this world of COVID where productions are shut down, that's that feeling you get when you can finally let off some energy. So I'll be curious to see, like you said, Jennifer, if there's more. Any other thoughts on that film? Anyone? All right, well, thank you, Jennifer, for the thumbs up. We're going to move on to our next film. And our next film is Housefly by Robert Morris University student Sarah Gabani. And Housefly is a narrative short film that depicts a man living a mundane life. I'm anxious to see this, Sarah.
Sometimes I think to myself, is this all there is? Waking up each morning to the same routine over and over again. The same four walls, the same coffee brand. Wake up to the same time, make the same breakfast. 2 eggs sunny side up with a side of bacon. Go to the same job with the same kids who don't want to listen. It's all the same damn thing. Sometimes, just sometimes, I wonder if I can even call this living. Is my life being wasted? I mean, I was given this life. Why am I here? Why am I, of all places, still in my hometown? I don't want to end up like Dad, living in a cubicle, coming home tired, dreaming, absolutely dreading waking up the next morning. I don't want to be like that. I don't want the next 40 years to fly by because I forgot to open my eyes. I don't want to be like that. I don't know. Sometimes life reminds me of a little housefly. It buzzes around without a purpose, not really doing much. And it only lives for about 24 hours, so when it's all said and done, not much really changed because of that fly. The world kept rotating. I kept breathing. Nothing changed. I don't know. But the one thing I do know is I'm not going to be like that. No. I'm starting now. I'm going to change. I'm going to change my routine. I'm going to mix it up. Maybe if I start with the little stuff, the big stuff will follow suit. Just maybe. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll start with the little stuff. Maybe then life won't pass me by. Maybe, just maybe, I can leave my mark even if it's small. I mean, I certainly have more time than a simple housefly.
Great job, Sarah.
Thank you.
Holy crap, that was great.
Great job. Sarah, I have a whole bunch of questions. I want to open the floor up for everybody else. I don't want to hog the mic here. My first is your choice of camera angles, which was absolutely fascinating. What was your thought process going in, and when did you decide that that's the way you were going to approach this project?
I like camera angles that are more fluid, and then I like seeing things through my character's eyes. So that's why I often try to get in their head and like with extreme close-ups.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about your choice also as a first-person narrative. You took that approach, which I thought was kind of fascinating, where it's a stream of conscious thing that we're hearing. Was that also to match your camera shots, or what was the thought process in the construction of what you were doing with your film?
So basically, it was a project. We had to do a monologue scene, and you could recreate a monologue from a movie, but I wanted to write my own. So I wrote that, and I just wanted it to represent like his feelings and something that's often felt by a lot of people. So I did a lot of repetition to show that his life is very mundane and it repeats itself. But then I added subtle changes throughout, like the time and what he wears and how he does his hair, in order to show like that he is going to change.
Absolutely. Well, you achieved what you set out to do. I can tell you that much. What other questions does anybody have for Sarah? Please.
Sarah, how many people did you have on your crew?
Oh, it was just me.
Holy shit.
Wow. Really?
Amazing. Holy crap. Good job. Oh my gosh. That makes me appreciate it even 100% more, because like when you do a standalone piece like that and it's just you, it's hard.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have to tell you what you achieved extremely well in your piece. It's a monologue, first-person narrative monologue, and you actually showed us a really good arc. And you did it from the character's reactions, facial expressions, of course, anything that's tight like that, you're going to get that. But even in the way that he was moving, with a little touch more up tempo, and the choice of tie even at the end. So all those elements were woven in so well. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That was brilliant. Sarah, congratulations. Well-deserved hand. Good job, Sarah. Our next film is Stand Above the Hate. It's a short narrative. It's a narrative short film, I should say, by Point Park University student Tamonte Morris. This film depicts a grief-stricken student who just survived a school shooting and now has to learn how to rise above the hatred and do what is right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this next film, Stand Above the Hate.
Everyone stay in the classrooms! Get down! Don't move! We got him. Hey, son. Hey, Casey's gonna be just fine.
I hope so.
It's her dad. Hello? How is she? Okay. I'm so sorry. Take care.
Well, how is she? What did Mr. C say? Dad, please say something.
I'm so sorry, Cody. She's gone. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, son.
Please,
Son, it's okay.
Dad, just
We'll get through this.
please,
We'll
Dad.
get through this. It's okay.
Dad, just
It's
please.
okay.
Dad.
It's okay.
It's unreal. After a month, it still feels like a bad dream. Why some reckless young man would do something so unforgivable is beyond me, and you as well. He hurt so many people, took so many lives, wronged so many others. I'm not just speaking as a superintendent, but as someone who is just as distraught as you. I don't want to forget what happened. None of us should. We should use this as a way to stand up for what's right, to stand against hate and violence, and for our community. So if you're with me, I say we stand up.
Age-reversing skincare regimen sell for $106.
You okay, sweetie?
Won't help. Her protesting won't do a thing. The same people you're trying to stand up against are still going to wake up the next day with hate in their hearts. No remorse.
I know how you feel.
No, you don't. Who did you lose that day? How do I know you're not just doing this to fuel your own ego? You know what? Just forget it.
Casey Calloway. She was my daughter.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
You know, she used to talk about you all the time. When her father and I split up, she used to tell me how you used to make her smile all the time. You remember her smile, right?
Every time I think about her, I miss her so much.
She meant a lot to you. She meant the world to me. Look, you don't have to be part of the protest. But if I know my baby, I know she'd want us to do what's right.
Hey, Ms. O'Hara. It's Cody. My dad gave me your number. Yeah, I was wondering, what time is the protest?
Great job, Tamonte.
Congratulations. Congratulations on a great film. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Woo. That was captivating. Tamonte, I have to tell you, what brought this on? There's been so many incidents, of course, of school shootings, but what clicked with you to want to make this story?
Well, I wrote it a year prior to actually making the film, and sorry, it's really bright. And I was in the back then. When I was in high school. That's when all the school shootings were happening, and it was very deep and very, very sad for everyone. And my senior year, we had some. We had a walk. I think we had like 2 walkouts that year, and one of those walkouts, students were supposed to go to the YMCA, like about a couple blocks from the school. And knowing the students from my school, I felt like they would have just. I felt like they were talking about not going to the walkout and just going and using it as a way to ditch class. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, Okay, it doesn't. So this was it was my mindset a long time ago. It's very different from me now. But back in that, I had that mindset of it doesn't matter what anyone does, doesn't matter how many times we protest, it doesn't matter how many times we go out there or anything. People are still going to go out there. They're still going to do terrible things. And they're still going to hurt one another because it keeps happening over and over and over again. No matter how many times we stand up and try to create a voice for ourselves. So with that mindset, I wrote this script for my introduction to screenwriting class freshman year.
Wow, that's a heck of a piece of writing, freshman year screenwriting. As I like to ask everybody that's participating tonight, as students, how did you react to this film?
It was powerful. Holy moly. I really like your resolution at the end too. Like, like before the credits went, I was like, oh, that's a bummer. You almost like feel like he doesn't really learn anything. And then when that popped up, that last scene, I was like, I don't know. I felt like my heart, was beat really hard because I felt like the resolution came around, and that was a really, really great ending. Really powerful film.
Yes, very much so. How about so many other students? You're all, because of, in your generation, what's happened. What are your reactions to some of the things that you just saw on the screen? Anyone? Anybody want to chime in? Well, I'll tell you what, I know it made me think quite a bit about the impact it has on people psychologically, more so than anything else. And every time you see a school shooting, it's gone from, oh my gosh, that's shocking, to, well, that could happen here. And it's kind of evolved into that thing where, unfortunately, we become desensitized to it to a certain degree, but you see the scars that you projected onto the screen, what happens to people. Tamonte, that was fabulous. Thank you so much. And I'm going to tell you, your lead, Cody, had a little Leonardo DiCaprio look going on there when I first watched this as a screening earlier. And I'm like, how do you get Leonardo to get in the film? That's impressive.
I think that was Johnny Raymond. I think it was his first film that he ever done, and I love working with him. He's just a really great guy, and I really do hope to work with him again in the future.
Well, you did bring out the best in him yourself, and he had a great script to work off of. So congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Well done. Great job. Great job. Well, our next film is called Shortest of Stories. And that's a short narrative film by CCAC student Jennifer Springle. And this story follows the journey of young college student Scully Fox, who is struggling to find her way as a writer. She discovers that her imagination is bigger than she realizes as she stumbles into a dream world that she created. So let's take a look at the Shortest of Stories.
Locked out.
Yeah, I'm a little early for class.
No problem. Keys are magical things. Am I right?
Thanks.
Hopefully you're all finishing up your short stories. Due Monday, people. I need to see you after class, please.
read your rough draft. It's a little flat. You have to make the story sing. Right now, it's barely speaking.
Hey. Hey. You okay? I just feel so overwhelmed. I just can't do this. I don't know how to write a believable story. The ideas are all in my head, I just can't get them out.
You gonna come out tonight?
We'll see, okay?
He'll be fine.
Thanks.
Hi, Scully.
Where am I?
You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Thank you for accepting our invite.
How do you know my name?
Scully, you created all of this.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
You have magic. Your dreams allow this world, our world, to flourish.
Listen, the only dream I had was to be a writer, and I suck at it. I can't help myself, let alone help you.
Oh, you know that's not true, Scully. Look around you. All of this lives inside of you. If you lose faith in yourself, our world dies just a little bit. Don't let your dream die, Scully.
Oh no. This place is so lovely. What can I do to make it stop?
You must write. Let the stories that are inside of you out. Release them into the world and all will be well. Here, take this. And let this remind you that you are the key to unlocking worlds upon worlds upon worlds.
And then the extraordinary rain kissed the grass, and the color burst through the blades like fireworks. It's you.
Oh, I see you're not locked out anymore. Keys are magical things, am I right?
Excellent job, Jennifer.
Wow.
Thank
I
you.
got to tell you, wow, that was that's hard to even say. You did you have a budget for that? That's the first thing I want to know.
Well, we as the, like, I had another class which was production design, and at the very last minute, like probably 3 days before that shoot, my teacher was like, let's build you a set. So that set, we built that set in 3 days, like me and my class. As you notice, the credits are a little bit long because like a lot of people helped me on it. Everybody just, I don't know, when we started building the set, people just came together, and I think like we built that in 3 days, and it was like nights and days, and it was just an amazing experience.
Set design is spectacular. I have to tell you, your lighting blew me away. Just absolutely blew me away. And it wasn't just the lighting, it was the juxtaposition of using the blue and then weaving in the little elements of red, from roses to the shoes to the necklace to the lipstick even. The contrasting colors popped so much. I felt it, part of it, I felt like I was watching Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker, to be very honest with you. And it came across more of a stage play than an actual film. It was so good. What was your thoughts going into, like, how did you tackle the lighting?
Well, what we did was you can't see it, and unless I show it to you frame by frame, we tried to make sure every scene had an element of the Wizard of Oz in it. Yeah. So like she's reading the Wizard of Oz. In the bedroom, there's a board game that says Twister in the background. In the classroom scene, there's two like pictures on the whiteboard from the Wizard of Oz, and then she has the shoes on, and then there's the long shot, and that's all it's like yellow, but you can't really see it. So it's like the yellow brick road. So I took a lot of my inspiration of everything that she was wearing or doing. It like went back to the Wizard of Oz, and that helped me a lot because it gave the film like direction, you know, like with lighting and stuff, and even some color choices in the bedroom. We made sure that the comforter was red, like little things like that. So I made sure that it always like went back to that.
And using the security guard as somebody who ushers through her dreams as well, a little element of the Wizard of Oz, I believe.
Yeah, a little bit. Thank you for noticing. I don't know if you could tell because it's very small, but obviously we had to do our own wardrobe and stuff. We made him a name tag, and his name in the thing is fair, like F Airy as in fairy. So his like little name tag says F Airy. So.
Oh, that's magnificent. See, the subtlety is magnificent, and the music choice. It was a masterful production. It was a masterclass in how to do a production. So, just marvelous.
I appreciate that because I'm in my 4th semester now, and I made that in my 1st semester, and I had never taken a film class. So I made that probably 8 weeks in. So I appreciate your feedback on that. Thank you.
You made that your 1st semester, huh? Okay. That's frightening. Jeez, I'll be out of a gig very soon. Are there questions for Jennifer regarding this magnificent film, The Shortest of Stories? What are people's thoughts on this film? Anybody have any thoughts on this film?
We have such a quiet group.
I know. I'm very surprised.
Kevin.
I see.
I thought it was amazing, and I was really excited to see it because I was at CCAC when they were building the set, and they were in their costumes one of the days I was there. So Jennifer, that was fantastic. So I'm really glad I got to see it. It was
Thank you.
Cool.
And the person that was in our costume doesn't even go to school there. We made her come just for that.
That's funny.
She was a high schooler, and we made her come to the school and dress up in costume for the CCAC opening.
Yeah, it was the opening day when we had everybody there, and that's the stuff they were doing. So it's really kind of cool to see the finished product later.
That is amazing. After being involved in that, she'll matriculate into your school, to be honest with you, if I were her. That was spectacular. And yes, Dawn and I were commenting to each other while we were watching that just now about how awe-inspiring it was. So magnificent. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for that great film. Our next film is also from Jennifer Springle. It's called Fear the Outside, and it's a short film. This film follows 9 filmmakers during the pandemic with only one rule: finish the story. So let's take a look at Fear the Outside.
I don't know what day is today. The sun hasn't been out for a very long time. The internet said stay inside, and the internet went out, followed by the electricity, followed by the water. Pipes feel cold at the touch, which means they're frozen. Well, the really weird thing, look at this. No breath, which means there's no moisture in the air. My food rations are gone. There's no potable water, which means if I need to survive, I need to go outside. Not my first choice with the horrible racket out there. Anyway, if anybody finds this, you'll know what happened. My food rations are gone. There's no potable water, which means if I need to survive, I need to go outside.
No food? What a freaking loser. I got so much more food than you. 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 I got so much. I'm the king of the freaking wasteland. Nobody can stop me. Not even Dilworth.
It all started with the quarantine, which led to the looting, and we thought it just couldn't get worse. We were wrong. We were so wrong. Now, it's their world, and we're just dying in it. You can keep moving and die, or you can stop and die faster.
And so right now, I'm telling you, the government is putting chemicals in the air. They're putting virus in the vaccines so that they can build their own zombie army. I'm telling you, this is a conspiracy for the New World Order. I'm looking through reports at our own paper that tell us that these things are true. They are happening. The New World Order is taking over.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Another epic day, another epic video coming right back at you. It's not going to be my normal, kooky vlog life. I know things have been getting tough for people. This is going to be so hard to talk about. I mean, they closed down my favorite Gucci store. It's been hard on everyone, and I want you to know that it's been hard on me too. I've been stuck in my house, same as you guys. It's been really tough on me. I have to walk outside to get to my pool. It's just been a scary time for all of us, I feel. So I've decided to start selling virtual t-shirts. The link is going to be down in the description. You can pick them up there. A portion of the proceeds will be going to, the other 99% will be going to me. During these tough times, it's important to help people out, Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the link down in the description. Check out my Patreon. If you subscribe at the $100 rate, I will Skype you or not. Get out of here.
You know what people don't realize tastes absolutely delicious? I'm gonna tell you right now, evil tastes absolutely delicious. I want to say that because we've been complaining there's no food, haven't we? Well, there's food right on the street. Granted, I don't know where this came from before I had all these cravings, but oh boy, is it delicious. I got food for days. Met vlogger? Dude. Oh my god. 10 out of 10. Just, oh, yum. Well, there's food right on the street. Granted, I don't know where this came from before I had all these cravings. Clay, come on. Two?
I gotta stop watching that stupid garbage on the internet.
Wait, hold on. Could you just close me in here and then not let me out?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, thank you. Oh my god.
Well, it all started when people started posting all over social media zombie apocalypse videos. And so, naturally, I wanted to protect myself. At this point in time, I made my family lock me in the shed. I was running out of time. They were here.
Oh, jeez, I thought you were still in there. Put that somewhere on the shelf.
My parents just think I'm nuts just sitting here in the shed. But they'll see.
I'm looking for the raft.
I don't know how all this happened, but I know as long as I'm in here, I'm safe.
So much more food than you. I got 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 so much.
I got to tell you, that was a great film too. And what makes it interesting to me is that, first of all, the music, great choice of music. Fabulous choice of music, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna tease you for a second. Your production budget for this one blew away the other one. Hell, you set a car on fire in this one.
Well, I have to tell you, this film that we just watched, and then the next film, what we did was during the pandemic, during the lockdown, we were all bored, and you couldn't leave the house, you couldn't do anything. So what we did was I sent a list of rules to my friends, and I was like, these are the rules you have to follow. So they were only allowed to have one person. It was only supposed to be them. So there was like one video that she used her brother, lived in the same house, but they didn't have any, camera equipment. They had to edit their own piece, and it had to be exactly a certain amount of time. And they did their own editing, and then I just put it together, and that was it. So this was me and 8 other filmmakers that put this together. But yeah, so I mean, the budget was not that big.
Yeah, but you channeled some Blair Witch Project, out of this one, and we're able to get that effect. And your lead actor, your first one, channeled a little Napoleon Dynamite too, by the way. But I have to tell you, it's clever. It's clever to take the circumstances and tell a story with it, and use other filmmakers to tell their perspective of the story, put it together as one.
Oh, well, I have to tell you too, the rules were only allowed to look at the piece before them. So nobody knew what the film was about. So I only sent, like we had an order that I randomly generated. So whatever order you were in, if you were 4th, you only got to see the 3rd piece. You didn't get to see anything else. So that's all the filmmakers had to go on, was the minute that went before their piece, and that's all they had.
What surprised you the most by the final product then?
That it made sense.
Like-minded filmmakers, that's what I can tell you. That's the genius of people that know what they're doing on film, and clever, incredibly clever. So well done, Jennifer. So enjoyed that.
Well, I can't take all the credit. It was me and my friends. I just did the one piece on that. I produced it because I thought of the idea, but all of my other friends contributed so much to that. So I appreciate your thanks. I'll pass it along.
Please do. Please do. Well, while we have you here, let's look at another one of your projects. This, you certainly took advantage of every second that you were and not in the classroom and basically sequestered in our world of COVID. Your third film, the social distance film, follows 10 filmmakers who have to continue the story using only 30 seconds and having only seen 30 seconds that came immediately before. So you're flying blind, as if you're the 7th filmmaker. That makes it quite a challenge. So let's take a look at the social distance film.
Some of air powers and their threat levels vary. Think of the best way to rob them of their ability to respond. Use those empty hands of yours. If you die too fast, you won't even be useful as targets. What are the odds of getting up?
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
I got something really weird in the mail. Yeah, hold on, I think I'm gonna have to call you back. Morning.
About 3 weeks since the first doll was born. They just keep coming. We don't know where they're coming from. Can't seem to find it. Well, the car's wrecked. I gotta continue on foot. Okay, I came up to a house. I was able to find a way in. We'll see how this goes, how this works out. This is day 56. Wait. I think I hear something. I'm not sure what it is. I'm gonna go check it out. I didn't see anything. I don't know.
Stupid human clearly says, do not enter. What do you think was going to happen? Now what do we do with him? I am hungry. I have sauce and cheese. Human Parmesan? Don't eat me, don't eat me. No, 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 no. Wait, come back. God damn it. It's my dinner. Where's the butcher knife?
Just let me go! Let me go! Why are you making me watch this? Let me go! Let me go! I want to go! Let me out! I don't want to watch it anymore! Just let me go!
It's in here. What did they do? Listen, I'm gonna get you out of here. So glad we found you. Y'all know there's a dude here? Leave him?
Nice job. Very nice job. So impressed. I have to tell you, the first thing I want to ask you is, did you take it this way because you said, oh my gosh, there's another way to tell that story that you were working on earlier, or which one came first?
The one that we just played right now, that was the first one we did. And people enjoyed it so much. So this one, I only gave them 30 seconds. And then the one that we played before, I gave them a minute. I actually think the 30-second one, the one that you just showed, plays a little bit better because it's a little bit more faster cut just because it's only 30 seconds. People got into it, and it was at a time that there was literally nothing to do. I mean, there was nothing. So when we finished this film, and everybody only got 2 days. So once it was your turn, and you didn't know when your turn was going to come up, once your turn came up, you had 2 days to shoot it, and then you turned it in, and that's what it was. So I mean, it was a good way to spend the quarantine. I had a lot of fun shooting these movies.
I love how you use the doors for transitions and moving the story, like taking us and moving us. Was that something intentionally done, or did you find that people just had a clever idea?
Yeah, and I didn't. I played just as long, just like everybody else. I had no clue. I only watched 30 seconds before mine as well. So I, no, I mean, you only had that one thing to go on. So we didn't know where anything was going when we were shooting it. One person shot the first piece and it got sent to the second person shot the second piece, it got shot, to the third person, and what you got is what you got. And it actually made sense.
Which one were you in the process? Which number were you?
I was the very first doll one. The doll, yeah, the very first doll one. And then the second doll one happens to be shot by my daughter. So I was like, you got to use the same prop. We're in the house. You know, it's the same. She was like, no, I'm going to go in a totally different direction. So I was the doll piece.
Well, both those dolls are going to be giving me nightmares. So tell your daughter, thanks a whole lot for that. Appreciate it. And
I will.
It was fabulous. Jennifer, I love your storytelling approach and your artistic approach. Just magnificent storytelling and great filmmaking. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What a pleasure. Our last film is A Gentleman. And this short film was written and directed by Point Park University student Amina Hawes. And this suspenseful film follows a young girl trying to escape from a boy she found online, only to find herself in an uncertain and messy situation. So let's take a look at A Gentleman.
You're kidding. No, he was like, I want to get you home at a respectable hour. Whatever that means. He's cute, but not my type. I don't know why I can't ever find a normal guy. Well, that's because you're always using Tinder. So how was your date? It was good. We went down. Like I'm never having a family chat. That sounds awful. Yeah. Oh, are those flowers from your boo? Actually, these are for you. Interesting. Why does it have to be so thoughtful? That's gonna be even harder to come off. I've been told you to stop going on dates with these randoms. That's what your ass get. You sure you don't want to go to the party? Yeah, I'm sure you guys can have fun. Have a good time. We will. Hello? Hello? Oh my god, you scared the fucking shit out of me. Oh, my bad. I forgot my ID. Okay. Alright. Yeah, have a good time. Alright, see you later. See ya.
Hey, are you okay? I tried calling you.
I just on my phone.
Did you get my flowers?
Yeah, thanks. Well, I guess I'll see you around.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Look who it is. I should have known who it was. It's not the biggest August Wilson fan on campus.
Hey, Will, what's up?
Just came from our book club. The one you should be in.
I'll come one day.
You keep playing. You say that every time.
I promise this time.
We'll see. Look, there's this party tonight. If you're trying to slide.
I'm sorry, I have to. What are you doing? Are you following me?
What are you doing? I take you on a nice date, you don't call, you don't text, now you're saying Will behind my back?
You have got to be kidding
Let me take care of you. I'll walk you back to your dorm.
Stay the fuck away from me.
Sorry. Jocelyn, wait. Please. Wait. Jocelyn.
You are making this very difficult for me. This is what I do. I'm not like those other guys. I've shown you. What do I have to do to show you that I love you? Just let me know. I can't do that. It's late. I'll walk you home. What are you doing? Hey! Hey! Shit! Joseph! Shit! Please. We gotta go. Come on, we gotta go. Just. Throw those hands up!
I'm
Great
so
job,
impressed.
Amina.
Wow, 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 wow. That was very, very impressive. Amina, first and foremost, thank you for sharing that. First of all, it was frightening. Just the premise alone. Tell me where that story and the idea came from, Amina.
So at Point Park, I was in the intermediate directing class, and our assignment was to look at our other films and see what we normally, the films that we normally do, the genres. And so I normally do dramas, romance, and so I had to challenge myself this time and do a thriller. And I'd never done a thriller before, so this was my first time doing it. So I just tried to use all the resources that we had, like the Point Park Library, and then just like different places around campus. And just when I think about thrillers, I really like how there's like always like a guy chasing a woman, the old style type of thriller. So that was my take on this one.
I have to tell you, your lighting really amplified the fact that it's a thriller. The lighting was magnificent. That caught me off guard, to be very honest with you. How did you, first of all, what was your thought process behind that? And I have a question about the running shot, because obviously you're not working with a steady cam. That's a really challenging shot to capture. How did you capture that shot, and what was your thoughts with the lighting?
So I actually had a cinematographer, Tyler Beck. He worked really well with creating the different shots. He actually handheld the shot of her running with my main actor. We did a lot of shots, but everybody on my team was very determined and hardworking. The lighting that was actually in the tunnel, that's how it just turned out. Like, we didn't do any adjusting to it at all. Like, I went location scouting, and that's just the way it was, and it looked creepy enough, so we decided to use it.
Did you have to do any color correction whatsoever, or did you just take that?
That's how it actually came out. We tweaked it just a little bit, but we didn't have to do too much because the lighting in there, it was perfect. It was a perfect location.
Absolutely. Boy, I'll tell you what, that is true suspense. Well done. That was suspense, all right. What are some questions for Amina on her filmmaking? Because that was, I'm surprised that that's your first attempt at that.
Thank you.
Any questions for Amina? Would you do another suspense film? Or what's your favorite genre?
Yeah, I absolutely would. My favorite genres are drama and thriller. So I'm kind of glad that I finally got my first chance to, get out and do a thriller. So I would do it again. I will say that it's very hard, especially when you have a time limit. The short film was 5 minutes, and to do all that in 5 minutes was really hard to squeeze it in. I had to cut out a couple of scenes. So I would do it all over again, but I definitely make sure that I kind of, plan ahead to not overdo my scenes, because when there's action involved, you have to, leave leeway for it in your screenplay.
Yeah, stretches out without the dialogue there. Yeah, absolutely.
I have to say, that was amazing. I'm sorry, I'm going to say something really quick.
Sure,
that was your film is bold. It's like every shot is just beautifully shot, And I'm going to give props to you for giving props to your team. But honestly, it's you for picking the team, because I feel like that's the most important thing in the filmmaking is picking your team. So like, good job for you for picking an amazing team. And your film is just like, literally, it's pure gold. It was amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well said. Thank you for saying that, Jennifer. Hey, you guys know as filmmakers, you're only as strong as the weakest person on your crew. If you have a bad grip, it's going to be a bad film. You know, bad gaffer, you're going to end up with a bad film. So, you know, every single person is that important. I have to tell you, this was one of the great treats I've had for the year, watching your work. You're extraordinary filmmakers. What great careers you have in front of you. I would sit there, I would pay money to go watch your films. I really would. And I look forward to when you guys are in the theaters and I'm watching stuff being streamed. I'm excited about that, because what incredible careers you have in front of you. I want to congratulate all of you guys again. Kayla Lukic, Daniel Kolaney, if I said that right, Matthew Knight, Derek Ostalaza, Sarah Gabani, Tamonte Morris, Jennifer Springle, and Amina Hawes. Congratulations. Congratulations on really, really being on the forefront of filmmaking in Pittsburgh. We need you, and you've really come through. Again, Pittsburgh Film Office, thank you. Dawn Keyser, Katie Farringer, and Heather Bolton, thank you. And of course, Sarah Gabani, couldn't have happened without you. And thank you for starting the Facebook page. Look what you started. You know?
And let's thank Kevin too, because we wouldn't have been able to pull this off tonight without you, Kevin. So thank you.
Well, thank you. That's nice of you guys to say. I'm the lucky one because I got to watch all the films, though. So, you know, I'm a film junkie. Thank you. And Pittsburgh 2020, the screening, we didn't let COVID beat our ass. We kicked its butt tonight. So let that be a lesson to COVID, and continue your filmmaking. If anybody ever needs to reach out to me, please feel free to. It'd be an honor to chat more with you all about film. So congratulations. Have a great weekend. Keep making great films, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Thanks, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. Good job.
Great job.
Well done. Bravo.